Community Engagement Director's Report, Mr. Budge. And Maya.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Once again, I've got a great job because I get to talk about a lot of positive things that go on in our community. And tonight, once again, we're going to recognize some of our young citizens here in the community. So it's with great excitement. In February, our Tehachapi High School Warrior cheerleaders went on to compete in a national championship. They brought home a national championship in show cheer. So I think, not only that, they also brought home a third place finish in game day fight song. So I think it's best if I bring up head coach Janice Looper, let her explain, and we'll do that. I want to show you the video that came first. So Tori, if we can go to that video, and then we'll invite the head coach to come up and say a few things.
Tehachapi High School.
Janice, will you come up here and brag on your team?
I'd love to. I just wanted to say thank you guys for recognizing these girls. These girls work so hard. We start our season, I'm not sure if you guys know, we have tryouts in April. They start practicing in June. They start fundraising actually in May. And they practice 3 days a week with football games, basketball games, everything. They work all the way up till nationals in February. They never get a break. And I have to say that this group of girls back here, in the 7 years that myself and Katie have coached, is the hardest working group of girls we have ever had. And they are by far the strongest stunters that Tehachapi High School has ever had. So I just want to say, when we go to nationals, we competed in 3 regionals, and we compete in CIF section. We did a clean sweep first place at all 3 regionals. CIF section, we placed 3rd this year, and for the first time, Tehachapi High School was invited to compete at CIF state. where we didn't know what to expect because we'd never been there before, and they took third place there too against some amazing teams. So I'm super proud of them.
Yeah.
And when we go to nationals, we compete in day one, and we compete against all the other teams in our division. This is the first year we competed in intermediate division. They ended day one in first place with a 96 flat, which is amazing. And we went on to, they only take the top 30% of each division goes on to day two. So we haven't made it to day two in the last 3 years, which is pretty disappointing because the first 2 years I coached, we went to finals and it was great. But I won't tell you what I told Corey on the phone when I called him, but they did by far the best I've ever seen these group of girls perform this routine, and they ended day two with a 96.2,
Wow.
which is almost unheard of.
Great.
So I just want to tell these girls how proud I am of you guys. I love you. I can't talk to you. They know I'm emotional, but thank you girls so much for showing up every single day this year and working hard.
So we ask Mayor Bowden Court Council to recognize these young women for this outstanding achievement, making Tehachapi proud. And before I ask you to come up and make the presentation, invite the council and mayor if you have any comments before we bring them up for
I have a
photos.
question. It says Tehachapi High School Warrior Show Cheer Team. Is there a difference between a regular
So,
cheer team
yes.
and a show cheer?
I forgot that part.
cheer
So this
team?
year, for the first time, we actually competed 2 routines in 2 divisions. So we took our varsity plus 2 girls from JV who are just outstanding and kind of stood out above the rest. And with cheerleading, it's a numbers game because for the amount of, however many athletes you have on the floor, you have to put up a certain amount of stunts, and they all have to hit in order to max out in that point category. So we kind of been playing around, and we figured out this year the magic number is 15. So every other year we've competed, we've had anywhere from 24 to 32 athletes. And at that amount of athletes, every single stunt group, so like last year we had, 24? We had to have 6 stunt groups. All 6 had to hit the elite skill. So if there was one bobble, that just knocked us out down into the 7 and 8 range instead of the 9 to 10 range. So this year we went with 15 for our show cheer, and then we competed a second routine, which was really hard for these girls because they had to learn both routines. And they competed in game day fight song, which was great too because we didn't know what to expect in that division because we didn't know anything about it. We didn't even know how to coach it. And they made the podium and took 3rd place in that division too,
Wow.
which was amazing. And so this was our show cheer routine, and our game day fight song routine took 3rd place. So
Awesome. That's awesome.
So these girls actually medaled twice.
Do you wanna do this before we add comments or?
And I think if there's any commentary be appropriate now, if you
Well,
don't mind,
do you
Madam
mind?
Mayor.
Go ahead and then I'll put my 2 cents worth.
Well, no, you first, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, just congratulate you guys on all the hard work. That's a lot of dedication, and regardless of what sport you're in, it takes a lot to be the best, but that was unbelievable, just unbelievable. You should be proud. You were an excellent teacher, obviously, and
I had help. My
and
friend
you,
was
there.
well, but you
She
also
couldn't be here today,
inspired them.
but she does a lot.
Well, and you obviously inspired them, and thank you for the families for supporting them, because it takes a team. I don't know how many baseball and basketball uniforms I have washed, and 2 kids in the sport, but somehow 30 uniforms end up in the washing machine. So I know it's a group effort, but congratulations. I can see you guys as a team. It's just fantastic, and we're very proud of you. Thank you.
It's phenomenal. When I came to Tehachapi High School 53 years ago, that was one of my first extra duty assignments, as well as coaching and physical education. And I took the kids to the competition. I had no idea what to expect. They look at the zippers on the back. All the moms made the drill team outfits. All the zippers have to go in one direction. Everything has to be perfect. And I don't think everybody realizes that. Well, after I came back from that competition, I realized I had a heck of a lot of work to do. It was phenomenal. And for you girls to get where you are, it's amazing. Amazing. I like all the flips and the I couldn't lift him up above my head. Okay, so congratulations, and you did a beautiful job. Phil?
I have a granddaughter in junior JV cheer, so I understand what it takes. It's also, they gotta keep up with their grades.
Yes.
It's
that
not
is-
just, you can't do, you gotta do it all. So it's very time consuming. Congratulations, very proud of every one of you, yeah. And the parents who have to be there for everything, all the hours put in. It's incredible amount of time, and you make the city proud.
Okay, are we, Hannah?
So I have to agree,
Okay.
I had, yeah, my little comments. I have to agree with all these, wonderful comments that our council members has made. And, I am so proud of all of you, and I can imagine the dedication and effort has, got put it into this. I mean, award is an amazing thing, but to get there, I can imagine the effort that you have to put in. And I have two daughters, they were both warriors, and I cannot, wait to pass this good news to them. And I will text them tonight when I
And it's
Thank you so much.
It's also difficult because you have to jimmy the gym for practice time along with basketball and volleyball and all
And
the
study,
indoor
yeah.
sports.
Well, it's
not
actually, they
easy.
let us practice over at the old Monroe gym.
Uh-huh.
So, and I
That's
just
nice.
wanted to touch on one thing what you said about keeping up with their grades. Every season, we start the year, our athletic director has like a coaches meeting that we have to go to. And our contract for cheer is so far above and beyond what the school contract is and CIF. And we do weekly grade checks on these girls. And if they have missing assignments or even one F, they don't cheer that week. So we're hard on them on their grades, and they do work very, very hard.
Yeah, thank
That's
you, Coach,
terrific.
too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to recognize, do we want all the girls up here? Let's go
Absolutely.
for it.
Absolutely.
Come on up. Just come on up.
Plus,
Just-
it's not
just
that
stand
easy.
right in
There's
front
lots
here.
of injuries as well. Okay, who's our captain? Captain. Oh, the seniors are all captains. Are you all in the same spot? Okay. Do we have the captains? We're missing a lot, I think.
We're missing one.
Yeah,
Hey, tell you what,
okay.
first photo, we'll start with Coach.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think the angle works pretty good. Okay, we'll come on over here, everyone's eyes this way, towards Pat.
Get you all in.
And just swing that way just a little bit.
There you
so
go.
Everyone's facing. Okay, I got mine. Do you want Janice and?
Huh?
You want me to just share mine with you, or you?
Oh, I
give
got
the
it.
angle? Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Mayor?
Okay. The city council would like to give this certificate of recognition to the THS Warrior Cheerleaders. The Tehachapi City Council congratulates Tehachapi High Warrior Show Cheer Team for earning first place in the 2025 championship title at USA Spirit Nationals. The team also took home the third place recognition for their game day fight song division. We commend the hard work and dedication it took to take the team to soaring heights. Your support of all other THS athletic programs bolsters the spirit of not only our student athletes, but our entire community. Congratulations.
Anyone want photos from up here?
Coach, can we get a chair?
Me?
No, no stunts, though. I don't
Yes.
want anybody getting a slip. Let's get a chair. Let's get a chair.
Great.
Jay's has volunteered to be thrown up in the air.
It's like high school all over again.
Well, I see some of my kids out in the audience, which are their parents, so, yeah. After 40 years of teaching, I have kids out there. Thank you.
We're gonna be on YouTube in the morning, so it'll be perfect.
Okay, do we have anything else? Anything anybody else would like to contribute? Oh, well, then I'm getting out of the way.
Okay, maybe 3 lines.
Jaden, school purpose and
We talk about windows.
There's not a group of
Who's calling? Riley, go ahead. Call it.
If you like it, say go big green, yo, go big green. If you like it, say go big green, yo, go big green. If you like it, say go big green, yo, go big green. Say what? If you like it, say go big green, yo, go big green.
And Mayor,
No.
hey, how about a nice round of applause for this team? Mayor, if okay, we'll just take a short break and allow those that they need to get homework done, they can go hit the books.
Congratulations, ladies.
Great job.
Caitlin, grab mine.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice to see the families, too. That's family support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For all your hard work, Mom and
Thank
Dad.
you for being a good parent.
Yeah. For sure. My kids are out there.
You recognize them?
Yeah.
You could tell they were in sync because the white shoes and socks, they were just not
I'll tell you, that
a
video
missing
wasn't-
link.
Yes, it.
Well,
Well,
they have made it look very
What's
professional.
that?
Like, no wonder they won,
well,
right?
just being able to do it here at the drop of a hat, and they were perfect. It's amazing.
Very professional, but, yeah, the first time I ever went, we had the drill team, the kid moms made the uniforms. We got marked out because the zippers were going the wrong way, and the plaids weren't matching.
Okay, well, we can get back.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by city staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the council or audience wishes to comment or ask questions. If comment or discussion is desired by anyone, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for a member of the public to address the city council concerning the item before action is taken. Staff recommendations are shown in caps. Okay, do I have any comments from the audience? Council?
Motion to approve as presented.
Second it?
Councilmember Chung?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Power?
Yes.
Mayor Probencourt?
Yes.
4-0 vote, motion carried.
Okay. All right. We have the financial director's report.
Public comment.
Public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Public comment. I went through the other one without that one, I'm sorry.
Any-
Public comment?
Any public comments?
Any? None? Okay. Now, we have to hear from Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Probencourt, council members.
Thank you.
Staff have completed the mid-year budget adjustment process for fiscal year 24-25. So I'd like to go over a little summary of the changes. In the general fund, there is a fund balance decrease of about $2.7 million. And that is primarily due to the paving project that is mainly funded by Measure S funds. It was originally budgeted in next fiscal year, 25-26. However, we are moving that project up into the current fiscal year. The design is ahead of schedule, and staff would like to take advantage of hopefully better pricing. So really, it's just moving next year's budget up into the current budget year. As far as our gas tax and streets and roads funds, there was a decrease to fund balance of about $160,000. And this is just, again, utilize some of the available LTF funds for streets and roads towards this same paving project that's being moved up. For the capital projects and special revenue funds, there's an overall increase to fund balance of $997,000. For the capital projects, it's primarily just timing related. A lot of them are essentially budget carry forwards from last fiscal year where they may have been budgeted but not completed. And then just better understanding of the timing involved with the various grants and funding sources. For the refuse fund, there's an increase of just over $8,000. We had adjustments decreasing both revenue and expenditure, and that was just a matter of the gate fees that we had estimated in the refuse fund. We had applied a higher increase based on last year's increased rates, but now we're just adjusting those to what we know. For the water fund, there's a decrease of just under $50,000. Our revenues as far as our retail water revenues are slightly up due to CPI adjustment and a little bit higher usage. However, we decreased some of our estimates for some of our development impact fee revenues. Some of that is due to those revenues actually being received in the prior fiscal year. So last fiscal year came in a little bit higher than we had projected, and so now this year's a little bit lower. For the sewer fund, an increase to fund balance of $902,000. That's primarily due to the reclamation area project being eliminated, and so that freed up the fund balance. Transit fund has an increase of $29,000. That is related to we qualified for STAF funding, that's State Transit Assistance Fund funding, which actually freed up LTF to be able to use towards streets and roads. And so we're just adjusting the revenue for that fund. The airport fund, you'll notice it has a net change of zero because we always try to balance out the airport fund. There is an increase of $3.7 million to both revenues and expenditures, and that's primarily related to the taxiway relocation project. Again, that's a budget carry forward. We had the entire project budgeted last fiscal year. Some of the work was done, and the remaining work is done in the current year, so we're just carrying that budget forward. And then we have a litter mitigation fund, just a small increase of $3,900. This is for Kern County land use fees that we received for illegal dumping and trash pickup. Once we had the actual numbers coming in for revenues, we had made that adjustment. And so a total decrease overall to fund balance of $971,000. That's primarily driven by the general fund decrease to account for that paving rehab project being moved up. And then outside of that, we did have an increase to the LLD and Drainage Benefit Assessment District funds. Again, that's primarily a decrease to the expenditures. We had some drainage expenditures budgeted, and the work ended up being a lot less costly than expected. So that's a summary of the adjustments. There is further detail, but I won't go into those unless you have questions. And I recommend that council approve the 2024-25 mid-year budget adjustments as presented, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do I have any questions from the audience? Council?
Yeah, I have a comment. Thank you, Ahmed. I have done this for a long time, and I do know that timing is inevitable. So timing adjustment is not, I don't even want to call it a variance, because it is, pure timing, but regardless, because of the way we do, and we have to recognize it. The another thing is, the mitigation fee, that's a super wild guess that we put it every year. And that is understandable when there is a variance there. And when it comes to, decreasing fund balance in general fund, I would like to commend the staff for bringing the project forward, because they stayed on top of it and very diligently processing the project. They were able to shorten the time. So that's rather a good thing. So I just wanted to send my, positive feedback, and wanted to commend the staff. They're doing a good job, all of you guys. Thank you.
Jeanette?
No, I am not from an accounting background, and I greatly appreciate how consistent and easy these are to read as someone without an accounting background. I really do appreciate it, so thank you. And it's phenomenal. It always amazes me how much money it takes to run the city. And I love the fact that every penny is accounted for, so thank you.
Good.
I appreciate the positive fund balances, lower right-hand corner.
That's his.
Overall, excellent job, and the presentation like that, it's simple to see it. You don't need to clutter it up with graphs and charts. You can get it all right in here. I appreciate that.
Well, and I'm always impressed with this. My mom and dad were bookkeepers. So I know what time it takes to do this, and it takes a village. It's not just one person, but it's a lot of people. And award time again. How many years has it been, 5 or 6?
I think 6 in a row.
6, I
Awesome.
think, yeah. So we appreciate everything you do and your staff, and thank you.
And you are right. I want to do pass thanks to all the department heads and all the staff that work on the budget, because they work with our deadlines and get us everything that we need. And so
It's an
good
outstanding
process.
job.
I have
We're
one
lucky.
last comment that although, we recognize the negative fund balance in general fund, how lucky, we are be able to afford the project, to bring it forward. Because if we have fund available, we can do it. So that is an amazing thing, especially the size of our city. It is not that common.
And Hannah knows from experience.
Yes,
Been there,
yes,
done
I
that
do
one,
know
yeah.
that for sure.
So,
Yeah.
we
Final
thank you.
comment, your assessment of our health of our finances.
It's very good, very positive. General fund, like Hannah said, we had positive results in the last few years. We've been able to have good, solid reserves and be able to utilize that towards this project. And a lot of that is because of Measure S.
Yeah. Great job.
Yes.
What's the motion to be, or is this it?
I make the motion.
Yeah.
I'll second.
To approve.
Councilmember Chung?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Power?
Yes.
Mayor Polkencourt?
Yes.
4-0 vote, motion carried.
Mr. Napier. Okay. Let me get your financial things up here. Public Works Director, here we go. Nope, am I in the wrong one?
No, that's it.
That's it? You looked at me and I go, I guess I got the wrong one. No,
You are doing good.
all righty.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Polkencourt and city council members for having me this evening. I am thankful I don't have to call the cheerleaders. That's a tough act. Ahmed did a great job. He should do a cheer, but that's okay. So speaking of budget, a pretty fairly simple project to present for your approval tonight. Excited to do some significant rehab at our museums. If you guys have been to the museum over at 310 South Green Street, I highly recommend it. I wish there was more people here to promote that. But the city proudly owns the Tehachapi Museum, located at 310 South Green Street, and through a valued partnership, the museum is expertly managed by the Tehachapi Heritage League. So a phenomenal group of volunteers there manage all the things inside. We as a city facilities division from the public works, we manage everything on the outside, all the, the roofing, the HVAC, all the stuff like that. So it's a phenomenal partnership. Specifically Hugo, our facilities lead, is in constant contact with that group and organization there. It was identified last year that the exterior of the building was definitely due for a rehab. The stucco is starting to fall apart. I should have put the year in there, but the building is very old. Jeanette may know, but it's very old. And the exterior was due for some rehabs. Basically, we do a full rehab of the stucco, fix all the cracks, full stucco recoat, and a full fresh new coat of paint. So the fun part, or also the terrible part, was identifying the paint color. So I went to Home Depot, picked up 20 different paint colors, and I went to the Heritage League's board meeting, sat with them, and no, it was great. I would say terrible because I was stressing about it. I'm like, my wife picks all the paint colors, so this was scary. They were fantastic. We went outside, we walked outside. They were unanimous with the paint color, so that was good. So it was fun to engage in that process. They have so much buy-in on that facility. Without them, it would be very difficult for us as staff to try to deal with that. So the color's in there as well. But I'm going to read the process we had here with the Sourcewell. We've done this in the past, but just to make sure we're clear on the bidding process. So for this project, staff utilized the cooperative purchasing service Sourcewell to solicit pricing for this work. The City of Tehachapi is a member of the Sourcewell, formerly known as the National Joint Powers Alliance, a government agency and service cooperative that facilitates a competitive public solicitation and contract award process for construction tasks with preset unit prices and specification for general construction services, including materials, equipment, and labor costs for the benefit of its participating entities across the United States. So I'll pause there. If you did look through the quote, I can't even imagine how terrible it is for a contractor to have to put all that in. They break it down by unit. They're scraping 97 linear feet of a crack. I mean, they have very detailed of costs in there, which is really nice for us to see the transparent process they put together. So the California Government Code authorizes public agencies to participate in cooperative purchasing agreements like those established by Sourcewell while remaining within the city's procurement policies. Sourcewell's solicitation process complies with the Public Contract Code and fulfills requirements for competitive bidding. Utilizing Sourcewell contracts saves staff time and money by eliminating the formal request for proposal, development, and bidding period. The contract to be utilized for this work is Sourcewell Contract CA-R8-GB101723-ACI with Angeles Construction Incorporated. So yeah, I will highlight that the bidding process is quite simple. It really doesn't even tell the story of how much time it saves us as staff to go through this process. And we're able to kind of pick and choose the contractors. It's not just you're stuck with one, which is nice. So we can kind of do a little interviewing of them. If the contractor came out and we just don't get a good feel, we can say, send somebody else. So the process is great. Fiscal impact there, the city staff budgeted $47,000 in the 24-25 fiscal year. The general fund for the Tehachapi Museum stucco paint project. Bid price from Angeles Construction Inc. is $45,404.58. And it is my request and recommendation for the City Council to award the museum stucco paint project to Angeles Construction Inc. for the amount of $45,404.58, and authorize the city manager to approve any change orders up to 10% of the contract amount, or $44,540.56. Any questions for that project?
Comments?
So it currently has kind of a rough textured stucco on it. Is it gonna be brought down to the smooth finish that it originally had?
The intent was to match, to keep it as similar as possible. So it's gonna be a very similar look of the stucco that's there.
Yeah.
Just there, okay.
And do you know offhand how old, when it was built?
I knew you were gonna ask me that. Oh, that's a
Wasn't
terrible
it a
picture.
library?
That did not translate well.
There was a library before. As a kid, you'd go in there and
Yeah.
we'd get just little cards out of the Dewey Decimal System index box. But it's quite old, yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I
It's
knew you were gonna ask me that.
probably, I would guess maybe after the earthquake it was
Really?
built. I'd have
That's
to,
54, 52.
the Heritage League would know exactly though.
Well, there's a plaque on the wall too, right as you walk in,
Yes.
it's right there
Oh, I'm gonna
too,
have to
so.
look now.
Yeah, maybe we shall take a tour.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's actually older than that, and then they built onto it later under Charles White, they did the expansion.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I was very excited to see, I know it's crazy, but all of the linear feet that had to be scraped, because I've learned a little bit more about stucco, and it's not, if you can't just fill the crack, you have to remove where it's actually starting to separate from the building to get a good laminate, to get a good cohesion. You can fill that crack, and if there's a gap there, it's just gonna pop off.
Right.
So I was very glad to see how detailed, if it was painful, it was, but I'm glad to see that it was there because it shows where the focus is. And I did have a question about the stucco paint. I know is it a bare product? Is it like an elastometric
That was just the
paint?
color, so they'll incorporate that within their product. It's just,
Okay.
you can take a bare product and make linen paint or vice versa. So
Right.
that was just the color we chose to provide to the contractor.
Okay, well, I don't know if it's too late, or you wanna take a look, there's elastometric paints. They expand and contract with the temperatures, and so as stucco expands and contracts, that can be used as well.
Yeah, I'll have to verify that's
Yeah, but
spelled
something
out.
they can add to it,
I'm
like
pretty
they-
sure it is, but
Yeah.
I'll have to verify.
Yeah. But
1931 is
Yeah.
Whoa.
I said
in an
36.
Art Deco style. You did the front with the grooves, and you could tell from the little columns, the
It's a beautiful building.
features on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Like
you.
simple, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are taking advantage of if you look on the north side of the building behind the gate there's some stuff over there. It's kind of some old gold mining equipment that the Heritage League is not really sure what to do with it. We'll have to get that out of there for them to get the scaffolding there. So Public Works are gonna help get it out of there for them and kind of work with them if they want to relocate it or do something different with it. So work with the Heritage League on that as well.
Well, and I was glad to read that it was gonna be or glad when you said it was gonna be a similar color. I thought, no,
Yeah.
we don't wanna do something out of
Yeah,
hand.
it's kind of like the train depot. You want to try to keep it as
Yeah.
historic as possible, yeah.
Okay.
And that light color will prevent it from getting hot and cracking too. So it's a better color for the sustainability of the stucco.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Any more? Can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Councilmember Chong?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Power?
Yes.
Mayor Poloncarz?
Yes.
4-0 vote, motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor Pugencourt. Just a couple items for this evening. Reminder coffee with the mayor is this Thursday, 7:30 a.m. at the Mountain House Coffee on Mill Street, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Also, blood drive coming up next week, March 26th at the Vineyard Church from 10 to 4 in cooperation with Houchin and Adventists in the city of Tehachapi, and others are always happy to host that blood drive in the city. Some may wonder what's happening. Why is the construction at the intersection of Valley and Denison taking so long and kind of looks like it's abandoned? Well, it's not. There is a fiber optic line that runs through that intersection. It wasn't quite where it was supposed to be. Thank goodness nobody cut the fiber optic line, but it was very, very close to the surface. And our contractor found it, and we have since contacted the fiber optic company, and they will be relocating that here soon in the next couple weeks, and then the contractor can get on with the work. But the fiber optics must be moved and relocated to a better position. Lots going on in that intersection with storm drains, electrical, gas, fiber optics, you can imagine, right? So that's what's going on there. And then some really good news, Union Pacific, UP, has announced that they would like to name the city of Tehachapi as Train Town USA. So very few towns in the entire state, I think there are only 3 in the central and southern divisions that have ever been named train towns. Our relationship continues to gain positive momentum with them. As you know, we've had discussions about derailments and different things over the years. But this is a step in the forward direction for sure. So on the 15th anniversary of the depot being rebuilt, which is actually 5 June, but the celebration is going to be on 7 June because that's the Saturday after the 5th. So 7 June, the city is working with Friends of Tehachapi Depot, FOTD. We are organizing a kind of a celebration, if you will, to celebrate the 15-year anniversary. Union Pacific would like to present a plaque to the city of Tehachapi and name Tehachapi as a train town USA. So we're very excited about that. So I wanted to get that out on everyone's calendars.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Mhm.
Can we get at least a plaque?
Yeah,
Say
Union
train
Pacific
town.
is going, it's my understanding, and I know Key, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they are going to be presenting the city with a plaque, and I think we probably want to mount it at the depot somewhere. We'll work with the depot, but, and I know that Maya, Key and Maya staff are looking at maybe some apparel or some hat, you know, something, a shirt, or different things that we
Oh,
could,
yeah.
you know, commemorate that day. So a lot of work going on behind the scenes, but we're really excited about the positive engagement with Union Pacific and the acknowledgement that we are a train town, because we are a train town. You know, this city started because of Union Pacific back in the day, and since then, we've just grown and matured and branched
Southern
out.
Pacific.
Sorry, so
Back
at the
in-
time, you're right, yeah.
They've,
And I know this BNSF that uses the tracks also, but Union Pacific is naming the city Train Town USA.
yes, awesome.
I remember when I first I moved in here in Tehachapi, that train depot was, oh my goodness, I thought it was a ghost house. And when I later, when I was working for the city, when I learned that there's some Union Pacific employees working in there, and I was wondering, don't they go by OSHA, you know, law? Seriously, I doubt it. But, you know, I remember going through all those grants and the timing didn't work out one way or the other, and Union Pacific was not being very cooperative, and they were, but we stuck with our plan and all the way, even with the fire, and we're here, you know, where we're at, and I'm so proud of that we did
I
that.
remember we built the facility that Union Pacific is occupying on the north side of the tracks, the northeast side. The city of Tehachapi actually built that building for Union Pacific in order to get them to,
Exactly.
you know,
Vacate.
vacate the depot. And I remember when we were, you know, restoring the depot, kind of tearing things apart, we found a bunch of whiskey bottles down in between, you know, some of the rafters and things, which tells me probably an employee, maybe, I don't know, back in the day again, take a swig and, you know, down there. And anyway, that's part of the collection now at the depot. And you mentioned Charles White earlier. Charles White was instrumental in setting up all of those artifacts, and of course, you know,
The Scuttle
Doug and
House collections.
the collection that the city bought. So it's been a long journey, but well worth the effort. It's part of what redevelopment did for the city of Tehachapi, because Hannah is right, it was blight, no doubt about it.
And the building that we constructed on the northeast side, the features of it with the longer
Little bit of a
eaves
train
and everything,
theme.
it's reminiscent of a train style.
Right, so on your calendar, please put 7 June. We don't have a time yet, but it's a Saturday, and we're gonna have a nice little celebration, 15-year anniversary, and then Train Town USA.
That's June 5th will be the,
7th.
June 5th is the Thursday, which is the actual anniversary, the
and the
7th.
presentation,
Oh, it's on the 5th?
correct.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
I misspoke.
okay.
So on the 7th is the
At 11 a.m.
public
Okay.
celebration, but they wanna present on the 5th.
Correct.
Okay, which is a
Okay.
Thursday.
Well, and I volunteer at the depot, and I've been on whatever, the board, whatever, but anyway, people come from all over the world, and I don't know if you know that. They've come from Australia, Russia, Iceland, I mean, everywhere, and it's very, very interesting. And you were talking about the old depot, and I said, you know, it was that way until 2008, and they were going to bring up the memorabilia, and that's when it burnt down. So they were lucky they did not lose all that memorabilia. And then I also add the fact that when I was 10 years old, we used to go up the hill with my brother's Boy Scout troops. They'd drop us off right at the old depot, and we'd play in the snow all day, and then get back on the train and go back down. And then when I was teaching, every once in a while, you'd see a special passenger train go by with about 3 cars. And that was what was the last time they had passenger
Once in a
train.
while they come through.
Yeah,
They're pretty
Well, it
special.
had the
but
one
it's a
last
very,
year.
very special.
Yeah, well, the company train.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
but
you
every
can
once
get
in a while, there are
membership.
private coaches that are pulled through. Every
Yeah.
once in a while.
yeah, and that's a special thing, and you have to sign up for it and pay, and yeah, it's pretty neat, so. Anyway, that's my little 2 cents, but, okay, now, do you have anything else? That's it? Okay, council member reports, Phil,
Nothing this evening, so.
Jeanette?
I'm very excited. On April 4th, we're going to have 6 commissioners and 2 board members from the Arts Commission Kern County come to Tehachapi. From 3:30 to 4:30, we're going to do a historical mural tour. From 4:30 to 5 o'clock, they're going to go to the Gallery and Gifts and see the winners of the youth art competition. Then we're going to have, from 5 to 6, a mixer where they're going to meet representatives from the symphony, the BK Theater, the Tehachapi Arts Commission, Tehachapi Valley Arts Association, Arts Foundation, Make Art Tehachapi, invite city council members to attend. And there's a few more, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But it's having them meet all of the leaders of the various arts, or the Bear Valley Arts Association, but have them meet the leaders of the arts community so that we know each other and are comfortable with that.
Could you give the date again, please?
April 4th. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to go across the street to BK Theater. And BK is going to be unveiling 4 beautiful, large sculptural panels in the front of their building. And then after that, we're going to go see at 6:30, we're going to see Enchanted April, where our own Maya is going to be in it. So they're going, and music, there will be live music as well for the unveiling. So everyone's going to represent. I don't think the Arts Commission has been up here in a very long time, and so it'd be nice for them to see what we're doing up here.
Very good. Neat. Very good. Hannah?
I just wanted to tell Steph, thank you for doing an awesome job. I'm so proud of you all the
Yeah.
time. I brag, I took a vacation and why did I brag about you guys? But I did. I bragged about our little town. Nobody knows about it. But I did.
Well, and
Thank you.
Public Works, thank you so much for keeping the streets clean.
I know, right?
There's so
Even with
many
the snow.
trees that were lost this last winter storm.
And lots happening around town. I see they filled the potholes at the end of the street, and we're doing lots of reconstructive surgery on the town and the roads, and it's getting there, just like you said, but it takes time. It doesn't
Stick to
happen
the plan.
overnight. I
Create a
know.
plan and stick to the plan.
The only thing is, I scratch my head and I go, why are they doing that in the cold? Because those men were out there in the freezing cold, and I thought, it's gonna mess it up, you know? So I wanted to stop and ask them, but I didn't. So anyway, so we thank you for all the public works that we have going on. It's exciting to see, and to go on roads that you don't fall in. You know, like Cherry Lane, that's fun to go down because it's all nice now, things like that. Okay, anything else? Okay, if not, we're going to adjourn to closed session. Okay, and we'll come out if you need to, we'll come out and tell you what's happening. Okay, then I have to get this.
If you want, otherwise,
Okay.
Bob Smith.